Oh, I know about covered bridges. I'm past president of Indiana Covered Bridge Society.
I guess it would be hard growing up in Park County and not having a love for covered bridges. You know, having 30 some of them and 40 some when I was a youngster, and fishing off of them, and it becomes a part of your life. And when I was 17, I went to work with an old fella by the name of Jody Carr, and we was rehabbing some covered bridges through Gerard Construction. And once you learn how the truss works and how they're put together and what components do what, you can almost do it from memory. It's one of those things that I'm glad to be a part of this. More than anything, I think it will be very important for the children that travel through the state fair and get to experience things that we take for granted every day. And that's pretty much why I'm here. I want other people to enjoy some of the things and children as we did growing up.
Have you signed this yet, Dan? At first, those guys, when they had all that big pile of logs, 100 or more, they were out here all by themselves. We felt like they needed a little help, so we brought some guys out. But he's the man, so we're just glad to be a part of it, just like we did the Bridgeton thing. And anything we can do to help the people of Indiana enjoy the trees and certainly the covered bridge. That's what it's all about.
What I'd done, I drew up a set of shop drawings for this particular bridge, and then I made a scale model of it. And then from that point, we just take all the measurements and cut out all the timbers and build the bridge. But I have been involved with working on timber frame bridges since I was 17, because there's a lot of them in Park County. So I've been at it 31 years. Off and on, I've done repair jobs and rehabs too.
Covered bridges. See, back in the pioneer days, this country was covered with trees one time. They tell me a squirrel could come out of the Mississippi River and go treetop clear to the Atlantic Ocean. And you had the pioneers had to get across the river some way. So then the trees were abundant, so they cut them down, cut them into logs, and built covered bridges out of them. It was all handmade. These iron bridges just don't turn me on because it's man-made. It's made by machinery. But the covered bridge is all handmade, all engineered in the old pioneer process.
Well, it's a king post truss designed with a burr arch, and it's a matter of doing all the mortise and tenon joints and all the box joints and diagonal struts and king post, and cutting all the notches so it all pins together like a big barn or a bridge.
That's your notch right there?
Yeah, what he'll do is we'll saw that. That'll come out, and then that lets the whole thing slide down.
Oh, I see.
All right.
Okay.
It's an action shot.
You got her. Now go up before you do anything.
My car in the way? That's a big saw.
That's right, just go down. So these beams here, when you walk through the bridge, these will actually be the cross tie beams up over your head. But we actually just use them to make a jig, and then we can get our X braces all exact.
Make it happen. Okay. Yeah. Well, you want to go at night? Yeah.
You can get whatever footage you want on it, just don't get your leg down there by that bar. You know?
Yeah, I'll be real careful. Thank you for the
Template. This is a template of the arch.
Okay.
We're just laying out where the saw has to cut the arch out.
And back in 1995, the vision was, let's build a covered bridge over the top of it. And it wasn't until we finally found Dan Collum that dream is coming to a fruition. But you're going to see over the course of the next 2 months the replica covered bridge, which is very similar to the Bridgeton Bridge, being built over the top. Another little twist that we are creating with this bridge is that we are going to add a pedestrian walkway. And when you get up on the structure, you're going to notice some framework on the right-hand side of the bridge right next to the track. That will be the first time that pedestrians can actually get up close and look at a covered bridge on the outside as well as walk through the inside of the bridge, Indiana. And it made perfect sense for us to pick this year being the year of the tree at the Indiana State Fair and adding a legacy project, a symbolic icon of Indiana that will forever mark the importance of our agriculture commodity, our hardwood industry in Indiana. And so that is this is the signature element of the Year of the Tree this year.
Indiana Hardwood Lumbermen's Association is very proud to be associated not only with the State Fair this year, but with the construction of this beautiful covered bridge. And I think what we're talking about here this morning, more than anything else, is just a celebration of our heritage. These covered bridges dot the landscape of rural Indiana, and they really serve as a showcase of our proud Hoosier tradition, much like the Indy 500 and basketball do.
You know, the hardwood industry in Indiana is a big part of our heritage. You can't drive around Indiana without seeing some beautiful trees, seeing some beautiful bridges, and really understanding this is a big part of our landscape.
What's it look like on the other side, Dave? Or Worm? you want to get it
about dead on. Do you want to go from the top down to the other?
Yeah, we'll just exit that way and we'll get.
How come you're having to cut those off, or just cut them long? Or something?
Anytime you timber frame anything or you cut material out of a log, you cut a little extra length, because when they cut them in the woods, cut them with a chainsaw, sometimes they'll get a pretty good split in them. Okay. So if you're needing a 16-foot timber, you'll usually cut about 17, 18 in the woods and make sure you've got enough. Trim both ends, square them up. And you just oversize them. I mean, if you go to the woods and you cut a 16-foot log and you cut it on an angle or something and you're needing 16-foot boards, chances are that board's coming off a part of that's not going to be any good. You trim them square, then you don't have your 16-foot boards you need. What'd you make that?
I got one. I've got.
Did you make it 16.6?
Yes.
Okay. That's number one.
It's about here, that's about halfway. That's pretty doggone. Yeah. Mostly in the middle. Oh, is it? Okay. That's like what it seems like a 10-inch video.
It's good if you just hold that block for me. Number's that? 2, number 2.
It's like, oh, that is, let's go. Guarantee that. Let me go see what it is. Once the whole thing's gonna get it. And Mr. Happy.
It's a hold up slide. Oh, sorry.
Well, you're the one that just said that. You're black catch shell. It's all yours, buddy.
It's gonna be a beast.
It fascinates me. I've never designed a covered bridge, but I've always been interested in it. I'll be interested in seeing how this one goes up.
Yeah.
Then we'll put some pressure on both sides and get some upper tie beams on it, get it held together tight, get some weight on the top, and then let it try to relax over the weekend.
Okay.
You don't just bend a 36-foot timber 8 by 12 overnight.
Right.
Are more than 1 1/4. It measures about 1 3/8 across the points, so it wedges tight. You can't. Yeah, what we have to do right now is finish pulling this timber down and drill and pin the post to the upper cord, and then we'll straighten it, and then we'll put all the cross tie beams on. Okay. We've got one side straight, everything else will work in straight to it as you pull it together.
Okay.
And then from that point, we'll be ready to start putting X braces on the top.
Decoration. The bridge was already there, but now they're covering it because Indiana's famous for their covered bridges.
Try to get all the X braces in the top. Once the X braces in, the upper part will be done with the exception of the roof structure, and then we'll start on diagonal struts and arches.
It gives you a perspective about it, but you know, then again, we still got modern equipment, you know, so you don't get the full-fledged feeling of what they had to go through. But yeah, you can see a lot back in the day when how it was done.
Yeah. worry about me. I'll get out of the way. If you see something.
How much needs trim, Dave? You're not quite against the... Probably about a half after you leave. Huh? You gotta go against the...
I can hear you all right.
Okay. I'm Bridgeton Bridge.
Yeah, I know,
last time I seen you.
Yeah, I know.
How you getting along?
Okay. Amos told me.
Yeah, and we bid them both, and I know we got the sanatorium in it,
Yeah.
but I don't know for sure about the Deer's Mill.
When you okay.
Yeah, that's good. Cool. I don't suppose I could get you.
In fact, I stopped in a little town of St. Joe in DeKalb County. The Setzler's pickle factory and bought me a case of pickles.
Oh, did you?
And on the way back, we went to Spencerville Bridge.
There's a penalty if we don't get it done.
What's your name?
Okay.
You guys want a calendar?
Sure. Yeah, they'll take one.
Hey, I'll give you a patent to draw them pickles if you want it.
No, I'm not going to take your pickles. My wife canned a whole bunch of pickles last year. She still cans them.
Yeah,
we got a lot of canned pickles. I do
of them.
appreciate it, Art. You
Okay,
take
I'll
care of
see you in
yourself.
Park County then.
All right, come see me in Park County. Watch me as I come down, Art. You go. Yeah, let's take it that way. At least the original mark, I transferred one up. Yeah.
Well, I got my grandfather's 2-man. I'm not man enough to use it though.
Okay, we're good.
I think there's going to be a lot of people get a lot of good out of it. That's all I can say. I hope. Y'all take it around.
It's all right. Man, that's a good one.
Get her, Dad? Oh, yeah. We're actually going to be cutting most of it off. We'll be going through here.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get rid of all that stuff that's bad.
Yeah, right here.
Let me go ahead and cut this one. We'll check it out from that side before we even worry about the other end. Just a hair, I think, Dave. I might be able to let it down. Keep a hold of it. I'm going to let it down just a hair. We've got just a little bit. Put the board on. Ready? Yeah. There it goes. You got it started. Oh, yeah. It's going to go good now. Go ahead, we got a ½ inch in. Go ahead, keep going. You ain't a kid. There's constant pressure on it. Block across here. We'll nail a block across here and let it extend out about 6 or 8 inches on each side. And as we set that arch on there, we can lay out where our cut goes, get it squared off, and we've got something to hold the weight. The arches would actually go down into the abutment the same as the lower chords would set on the abutment. And as this truss, this basically is a truss, and as it tried to pull down, as you got a weight on the bridge, as you have weight coming on it, where these arches are bolted on, as that truss tries to go down through the sheer force of the bolts, it diverts part of the load into the arches. So the arch carries part of the load and the truss itself will. Okay. So.
Sawhorse is right in the middle of it.
Yeah. Well, Mark, I've been talking to your buddies.
Yeah.
So we can get it after we get the arch laid out.
Looking like a bridge.
It looks more massive now. You start getting them arches in. Get it tight?
Yep, and I think it's the right color. Somebody was telling me that.
No, I'm just interested in covered bridge construction.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I paint for a living, so on my day off, I thought I'd like to go do some more painting.
25 years of that, so I thought I could jump off and paint. They needed some help.
That would have been pretty funny, guys. We've been in the heart hospital.
Okay, I'm sorry. Don't drip it on your jeans or I'll get in big trouble.
Who's going to give you trouble?
I'm amazed at how far Dan is on the bridge. So, Margaret, have you decided on your food stuff?
You having fun? You know you're making history. You know what history is? Okay.
I'm gonna call you. I may have to have you bail me out, Art. This 8-bait cross-tie beam. A lot of those bridges don't have that.
Well, they ought to put a limit up here, or something, a bar up here about 8.5 feet tall and tell them 7-foot limit, and keep our.
Three or 4 days, we were on a trip down to North Carolina.
Yeah.
Didn't have access to the internet, and I finally hit a campground that had a Wi-Fi. I try to remember.
He's a happy painter.
I know.
In the spirit of the Indiana State Fair, it's always all about family, whether it's your fair family or your real family.
Oh, I think you missed a spot there.
Oh, did I?
I'm just kidding. Totally kidding.
Perfect. Perfect. Is Murph in?
Yeah, they'll be
Murphy's
coming.
in. She and Grampy are on their way. But Grampy had some errands to run.
Well, was Grammy coming or not?
No, Grammy's going to go to the grocery.
I thought she wanted to paint.
Grammy? No. She wanted... Okay.
Yeah.
In the spirit of the Indiana State Fair, it's always all about family, whether it's your fair family or your real family. And it always seems like all the projects we do out here, everybody pulls up their sleeves one way or another, whether it's their time or their treasures or their talents. It always seems like that's what makes so many projects out here so much fun.
We were strolling through the campground and looked over here and saw the bridge being built.
They decided before they left here they'd like to buy 2 of these bridge pins to support this project.
It was really a good idea, saving some of the history of Indiana. We're Indiana natives.
These pins hold that barn together in those joints that you can buy one of those pins for $125 or up to $5,000 if you like to get into a gold club.
This just made a great gift for us, so we're looking forward to seeing our names in print.
It's getting there, isn't it?
This morning we put all the Wumba 4s on there for the shakes.
Okay.
And now we're putting the fascia board, which is the Wumba 6, and then the Wumba 10 is where they'll start the wooden shakes and go up, and then they're on 10-inch centers.
$142 1/4 on top.
That's the top
one, yep. Just set it on here and then lift it up as we go.
Which one did we cut, Bob?
34 3/4, wasn't it? 34 3/4. Now we want 35 1/4.
Lost your hat.
We're out. Thank you, buddy.